Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing all of the crystals I received in the 2022 Unearthed Crystals Advent Calendar. I got this Advent Calendar at the end of 2021 and I really enjoyed that year's. I'll leave a link to that video in the card, and I enjoyed it so much that I decided to get the 2022 edition as well. So first is a clear quartz Christmas dangle. Has a little clear quartz point here and this little metal piece on this side. It says Unearthed, and on the other side it has little engraving of crystals and this string here so you could hang it from your Christmas tree. I'm going to hang mine from the rearview mirror of my car. I've been wanting a crystal charm to hang from there, so this is perfect. And clear quartz is good for energy, clarity, and harmony. Next was this orange calcite cloud. There were quite a few carvings this year, which I was very happy about because I love carvings. It's a beautiful, vibrant orange calcite with these white bands that make me think of a mango and cream ice cream. And it has that nice waxy feel that calcite is known for. And it is good for confidence, motivation, and creativity. Next is a red vein jasper dragon skull. This is a crystal I didn't even know existed until I unboxed it, and it's very small. You can see the red veins that give it its name. Really cool. This is my first ever dragon skull carving. I'd really like to get some more in different crystals. And this is good for detox, balance, and stability. Next, we have a really dark piece of sodalite. It kind of blends in with my background. It is a double terminated point, and I'm hoping that you can see the blue color come through. It's a very, very dark piece, but it is sodalite. At first I thought it was obsidian, but it's just a very, very dark piece of sodalite. I've been feeling quite drawn to sodalite recently. I used to not have much interest in sodalite at all, but more recently I've been interested in it, so this was perfect to unbox. And sodalite is good for intuition, communication, and insight. Next, we have a big piece of amethyst. Again, it might be a bit hard to see against my dark backdrop. This is a polished point. I'll hold it over the card so you can see the color a bit better, hopefully. So the top part here has been polished, and then the rest has been left raw and natural. It's a really deep purple amethyst. I'm quite picky when it comes to amethyst. It's not my favorite crystal. I only have, I think, 2 pieces of amethyst that I have kept over the years. But I really like this piece. I love how deep and rich the color is. It just looks juicy to me. And this is good for clarity, cleansing, and protection. Next, we have a bracelet. This is a silver sheen obsidian bracelet. I am a big fan of obsidian. I have a few different types of obsidian. We actually received a silver sheen obsidian sphere in the previous advent calendar. This bracelet is really nice. You can see the silver sheen. It fits a little bit bigger than my other crystal bracelets, but still very comfortable. And it doesn't fall off of my hand. Silver sheen obsidian is good for communication, rationalization, and patience. This next crystal is flower agate. Flower agate is another crystal that I'm sort of picky about. Some flower agate I like, others not so much, but this is a really pretty soft pink kind of color. Trying to show the color a bit better against the white. And it is a mini bear bowl. So it is carved into the shape of a little bear's head. Here are its 2 ears. And if I turn it over, you can see it's actually shaped into a little bowl that you could use for rings or earrings. I personally don't have much use for a mini bowl, so I'm choosing to display it just as a carving like this, and it's really cute. And flower agate is good for healing, passion, and purpose. Next, we have a cube. It's almost the same size as the card. This is an angelite cube. Angelite is a crystal that I'm not a big fan of. I've just never been drawn to it. Same with celestite. Just never been drawn to it. Never had an interest. So this is one that I will be selling, but it is good for growth, intuition, and communication. This next crystal I'm definitely keeping. It is a tiger's eye mini flame. This is my first ever flame carving. It's so small, and I'm a big fan of tiger's eye. Look at that beautiful golden flash. When I first saw this, I thought it looked a bit like a shark egg. If you've ever seen them wash up on the beach, they kind of have a spiral shape like this. But when I sent a picture of it to my friend, she said it kind of looked like poop. So I guess now I have a shiny golden crystal poop. Kind of hard to unsee that now, but I still love it. And tiger's eye is good for strength, protection, and courage. This next crystal is another one I hadn't actually heard of before. This is a money agate faceted freeform. It's very interesting. It has lots of different colors, kind of greeny brown and red and white. Never heard of this before. This spot right here kind of looks like a coin, like a sand dollar. And money agate is good for balance, cleansing, and transformation. Next up, we have a little sphere. Usually, with every purchase of a sphere from Unearthed Crystals, you get a little hematite ring to use as a stand. Last year they didn't include it in the advent calendar, but they did this year for the sphere. So this is green and blue moss agate. Sort of see a mix of green and blue. I'm not a big fan of moss agate. It's a crystal that looks quite interesting to me, but whenever I've held it, I just haven't felt much energy-wise from it. The only moss agate that I really enjoy is pink moss agate. So this is another one that I will be reselling, but it's still pretty cool. It looks like a little planet. And moss agate is good for growth, grounding, and new beginnings. Next, we have another super cute carving. This is a rainbow fluorite cicada. It's a really pretty pink color. I love this so much. This is the smallest carving I own, and it is so detailed. Look at that. Definitely a keeper. I just realized it's also the first piece of pink colored fluorite that I own, so that's really cool. And this is good for focus, stabilizing, and growth. This next one is quite interesting. It's a prophecy stone specimen. It kind of looks like crystal poop to me, but I actually quite like that about it. This is apparently quite a rare crystal, and it has this really interesting formation. I really like it. I don't have anything like this, and it is good for abundance, grounding, and transformation. Another carving. There were so many of these. This is a tree agate bulldog. I believe it's a French bulldog. Very cute little carving. I'm not a big fan of tree agate, and I'm not really a fan of flat-faced dog breeds like this either, so I'm most likely going to be reselling this. But tree agate is good for relaxation, growth, and truth. This one I'm definitely keeping. This is a golden healer heart. I'm very drawn to the warm colours of golden healer, but some of them are kind of a bit dark and some are kind of a bit too pale. This one is perfect golden warm colour, and it's throughout the entire heart. I just think this is so beautiful and the perfect carving for golden healer. Apart from towers, I do quite like the look of golden healer towers. Anyway, golden healer is good for amplify, release, and empower. Next, we have an ocean jasper button. It kind of looks like a flying saucer to me. Sort of a weird, flat shape. Ocean jasper seems to be a super popular crystal, but this is actually my first ever piece of ocean jasper. It's just never really interested me. I'm honestly not sure if I'll keep this or if I'll resell it. We'll just have to wait and see. But ocean jasper is good for love, happiness, and confidence. Next, we have a flashy labradorite keychain. This metal part says Unearthed crystals, and it's a cylinder shape labradorite. I'll see if I can get the flash to show for you on camera. Don't want the metal to be flashing. It's kind of hard to get it on camera. It's showing in person. There we go. It's got a beautiful yellowy flash with some blue mixed in there. The blue doesn't really want to show. But yes, a flashy piece of labradorite. I'm probably going to resell this just because it doesn't really appeal to me, honestly. And I don't really need a keyring, but I'm sure someone else will love this. And it is good for strength, transformation, and intuition. Next, we have another piece of obsidian. This is a type of obsidian I've never had before. It is mahogany obsidian. I believe the red color is from iron. I think, I could be wrong, but mine is mostly red with little hints of black throughout. I'm undecided if I want to keep this or not. I do really like obsidian, but I'm more into the typical black colors of obsidian. But it's still cool, and it's in a heart carving. And this is good for grounding, protection, and growth. Next, another crystal I've never owned before. This is a hypersthene. They labeled it as a hexagon, but I think it's actually an octagon. Count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's an octagon. They mislabeled it, but it's still pretty cool. It has this really interesting flash. There you go. Look at that. It's a very interesting crystal. Not exactly the shape I would have gone for, but it definitely shows off the hypersthene flash very well. There we go. It's hard to, there we go. Now it's really showing. And this is good for protection, calm, and grounding. Next, we have probably my favorite crystal from this advent calendar, or at least one of my favorites. There's so many that I love so much. This is a thulite heart. Thulite is a crystal I have been drawn to, and I've wanted a piece. And the heart shape is just so perfect for this pretty pink crystal. It looks like some sort of strawberry or raspberry dessert. And the heart carving is just so flattering. Really loving the energy of this thulite. I've been very drawn to it. And thulite is good for expression, confidence, and passion. This next one I'm going to have some trouble pronouncing. I think it's a Owahi. I'm not sure how to pronounce that first word, but this is blue opal. And at first I thought it was a tiny tower, but they've labeled it as a pencil So it's like a little pencil shape. I guess you could use it as a little wand. It's a very calming blue color, very pretty. Makes me think of still water, and this is good for calm, confidence, and clarity. Next, we have a skull. It's kind of hard to see against my backdrop, but this is a black agate skull, much bigger than the little flower agate skull I got in the previous year's advent calendar. But it's quite cool, all the different patterns throughout. I've gradually become more and more interested in crystal skulls. They're just quite fascinating to me. And black agate is good for protection, courage, and energy. This is another crystal I had never heard of before. This is hemimorphite, I think it's pronounced. It is sort of a blue and brown color. It kind of reminds me of Caribbean calcite, and I'm not sure if it'll show, but it's sort of sparkly throughout. Reminds me of a beach, very sparkly. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of this, but I'm sure someone else would absolutely love it, so I will be reselling this, and it is good for spirituality, energy, and positivity. This is another one of my favorites from this year's advent calendar. It is a selenite snake. I have wanted a snake carving like this out of crystal for so long, so I was so happy when we received this. You can see that lovely sheen that selenite is known for. Oops. Turn it over so you can really see it. I would love to have more crystals in this carving. I think agate or carnelian, obsidian would be so cool in this snake carving. And selenite is good for tranquility, cleansing, and protection. And here we have the final crystal. This is a chrysocolla and copper polished slab. I've never seen anything like this before. It honestly reminds me of a coral reef. I'm not sure why, but it does. Here's the other side. I love the shiny copper mixed with the deep blues and greens, and on the edges it might be hard to see, but it has very tiny but sparkly druzy. And a fun fact about this is that every single piece was cut from the same stone. So everyone that got this in the advent calendar has a small piece of the same stone, which I think is really cool. And this is good for calm, balance, and healing. So this is everything I received in the 2022 Unearthed Crystals Advent Calendar. I'm very happy with everything. I love the carvings that we got this year, and I'm definitely going to try to get the Advent Calendar again next year. If you're interested in any of the crystals shown here, they did have some leftover from the advent calendars, so you can go onto the Unearthed Crystal website and have a look through, and you may be able to find some of the crystals here that were left over if you're lucky. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified every time I upload a video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.